Hi everybody, good morning. It's Melanie here with Lost and Found, coming to you guys live from the studio. And you guys have been asking, and so today I'm going to do it for you. I'm finally going to do it. You guys have been asking for a full how-to on using the Redesign with Prima Transfers. I keep telling you how easy they are, and you keep saying, please show us how to do it. So today I'm going to show you how. I'm going to walk through a project all the way with you. I just want to say on the front end that the internet here in my studio can be a little slow. So sometimes that means the videos, my live videos freeze. I just kind of ask you guys to be gracious with me about that. If they do freeze and pause, then they kind of catch back up. You can always rewind and watch anything that you missed. But unfortunately, with this kind of old space that I'm in, I just don't have the fastest internet. So I am in downtown Springdale here in Northwest Arkansas. We've got over 30 different Redesign with Prima transfers here at the studio. And so I've also got them all online. The same ones that I have here, I have online. And today we're going to use one, this one, and it's called the Christmas Greetings Transfer, and it's the first Christmas one that they've really come out with. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of reposition the camera here. I'm going to turn us, shift us, and you guys get to see my lovely shipping table back there. I'm going to shift us down, kind of get, sorry for the shaky, get positioned here on this window. Maybe scoot over a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to be working kind of down here. So I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing here. What we're working on, this is an old window. I think I bought it at a flea market, or I bought it off someone off Facebook garage sale. I don't remember. But you know, you can find these so easily, and these transfers can go on any flat surface. So they can go on mirrors, they can go on glass, they can go on wood, they can go on walls, they can go on furniture, anything that's flat that doesn't have any sort of like resist on it, like oil-based product on it, then the transfers can go on. So we're going to start first. Your first step is just to get the window nice and clean, and I've got just like a vinegar solution cleaner, and I apologize, I know that everything's going to be backwards for you guys, but I'm just going to kind of make sure my window's nice and clean, because if there's like some grit and grime on it, then it can keep kind of the transfer from adhering well. So if you guys have used one before, I would love to hear how it went working with one, or if you want to work with one. Oops, go back and glue that down when I get done. And it is an absolutely gorgeous fall day here. I would love to hear, if you're watching, say hi and let me know where you're watching from. And how's the weather where you are? It finally is fall here, and I'm not complaining. So when you get your transfer, here's what's going to happen. You're going to open up the tube, and they're going to be rolled up inside. This little stick's going to fall out. Keep it. That's what you use to apply the transfer. You're going to have some directions in there, which hopefully you won't need because we're going to walk through it all. And then your transfer is going to be rolled up. Now, if you look on the back of the bottle here, the back of the tube, it shows you exactly what you're getting. So this is a design, and it's printed on 3 different sheets of paper, and it will tell you the dimensions. So if you're trying to fit a specific project, you can know if this is going to fit your project, okay? The listings, the sizes are also all online on my website on each of the products that's listed there. So but sometimes, you know, these are kind of one whole design. Sometimes it's several different designs, but they come on multiple sheets of paper. And that's because they really wanted to standardize. Like, some of these are really big, but they wanted to standardize this tube so that they all kind of fit in the same size. So the point is that your design may kind of be over more than one sheet of paper. This one is on 3 sheets of paper. So here's the top. I think that's the bottom. And then here's the middle piece. So you can see like this floral design right here kind of connects, it finishes on this piece of paper down here. The same thing with this poinsettia. Kind of starts here, finishes down here, okay? So when you're planning your design, realize that. Sometimes it's kind of moving from one piece of paper to the next. So, but they're gonna come, the transfer itself is printed on this clear cellophane right here, okay? Don't touch it. It's super, super sticky. That's why it's got the wax paper behind it, okay? Another tip too is just to pop this whole tube before you're ready to use it. Pop this whole tube in your fridge or freezer for about 10 or 15 minutes. That's not gonna be as much of a problem right now, but over the summertime, while these were being shipped in kind of the hot weather, heat can cause the sticky basically to not release very well off this. So don't store this outside in the heat. Don't store it sitting in the sun. If it's been in the sun, so if you order one and it sits on your front step in the hot sun, pop it in the refrigerator, the whole tube, for 10 to 15 minutes before you use it, okay? So this is just paper though. This can be cut. You can cut off whatever you want to use and then reuse it on another project. And so that's one of the reasons why I really like these, because you can do so many different things with them. So I kind of, before this video started, kind of played around with my design a little bit, and I'm gonna use kind of this December 25th, I'm gonna use the bird and kind of this whole thing, and then I'm gonna jump down here, I'm gonna use this wording, and then I may use just another poinsettia. I think this I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna cut it off and I'm gonna move it someplace else. So, hi Kathy, hello, and hi Kim. Yeah, Kim, we'll get to the sealing part. Essentially, you can seal it with any, with a furniture wax or with any water-based product that you like. I'm not gonna do anything to it on this window because it's just gonna hang on a wall and it's gonna be fine. If I would put a wax or a poly on it, it's probably gonna streak on the window, but we'll talk about some of that more when we get to the end. I forgot, I'm gonna turn this, no, we'll keep it like this. I'm gonna work kind of this way, so I'm sorry, you guys are just gonna be upside down. But that's okay, you guys can follow along, right? Okay, so I'm gonna start, I've got just a nice pair of sharp scissors, and I'm just gonna kind of start cutting out what I wanna use. Again, you keep these two pieces of paper together. These things, the transfer itself is very, very thin, and it is very, very sticky. And so once it sticks, you cannot pull it off and move it. It's virtually impossible. It's like the thinnest temporary tattoo that you could imagine, okay? So you've got to be really careful. Keep it intact with this wax paper backing until you're ready to stick it on what you're working on. So you want to have, helps to have some nice sharp scissors. And I'm going to trim off just the bird and kind of this greenery. Now, if you're doing these on a piece of furniture or anything that has some curves or places that's not flat, it gets a little bit trickier because I'm gonna keep this piece later. I'm gonna roll this piece back up, drop it in my tube, and I'm gonna use it later. Again, like I said, they're so thin, and so if you're putting it over something with a curve or something that has like a corner or like a cut in it, then they will crack or break in there, and that's okay. You can kind of fill it in with a little bit of paint. You can distress it a little bit and go with it. That's just what I do. You know, you guys know I'm not about being perfect, right? I'm just about having fun and enjoying what I'm working with, and sometimes it's not perfect, and that's totally okay. All right, I decided too that I'm gonna use this bottom little message, so I'm gonna cut that off, get that ready to go. So I have seen some people, there is a transfer that they just released that's called the Thankful Autumn Transfer. And I shared this on my page last night. My friend Linda, who's a blogger at Q is for Quandy, she applied pieces of the Thankful Autumn Transfer to some old china, just old china platters that she had, and they are adorable. I've seen people put transfers on their KitchenAid mixers. I've seen them put transfers onto There's cell phone covers, all sorts of things. So many different things that you can use them for. Okay, I'm actually gonna keep this over here. I'm gonna keep the ones that I'm using over here to the side. So take this little piece out. I'm gonna roll up these whole extra pieces. They're gonna be for another project. So, okay. And then for this one, I just need to kind of cut out this part right here to connect with the bottom. It's kind of the bottom of that design. So I thought about using this part that was like the toy advertisement, and it was super cute, and I don't know, I'm gonna find something else to use it on though. Excuse me. Yeah, the plates were really cute. Linda is so talented and creative, and I just thought that was a really great idea. I've got some silver plate chargers that I may try putting some on. So Kathy, they are not permanent. Like, you can take them off. You know, they're not designed, when I tell people they're like temporary tattoos, I always say, but they're not designed to be temporary. Like, they're designed to stay. You can, in the instructions, it says that they can be removed by gently scraping off with a smooth edge tool. So you can kind of scrape it off. It might, you know, it might scrape off the finish a little bit. If you're using a scraper on your mixer, it might scrape the finish off a little bit. I've never tried removing one personally. They can be removed. I think it's just a little bit of maybe of a tedious process. Okay, so this is my design. I'm gonna put this guy kind of up at the front in the middle, and I'm gonna just cut off this extra up here. The less that you have to work with, the easier. Okay, the smaller pieces you're working with, the easier. So if you're getting one for the first, like if you want to try the first one that you want to do, don't get one of the big gigantic, like the Rose Celebration or the Imperial Garden. Get one that you can cut up into little pieces, like the Thankful Autumn one that has lots of little different designs, because it's really easy. The smaller the parts are, the easier it is to apply. So this is going to kind of go up here, and then I'm going to finish. Let's see, that kind of goes there. And then maybe I'll put this guy kind of down here. I don't know. Maybe I'll just put it like that, maybe. And then not put the words. Maybe I'll just do this. I liked the words. Maybe this will go here. I don't know. Let's just get started. Let's get started and we'll see. I know I want this. I know I'm going to work with this. Okay, so obviously this isn't all going to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it. I'm just going to kind of fold it a little bit with my hand. Now, if I really wanted to, I could curve it up and take it over here onto this wood. Like, it could do that. It would crack a little bit kind of in this curve, but I just, aesthetically, I think that's just kind of not what I'm going for. So I'm just going to go ahead and just trim it. And I don't know, that may wind up looking odd, but that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to trim this little part off. Okay, so then when you're ready to apply it, you're gonna peel off the backing. And I'm kind of nervous about doing this live because it really does, I could mess it up. That's all right, that's all part of showing you guys, right? I'm gonna make sure it's as clean off as I can get it. When you're reaching around to touch it at the back, be careful that you don't grab where the image is printed because it'll stick to your finger, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of get this first part where I want it, and once it's stuck, like it doesn't want to move, okay? And then just press, and then kind of unroll the back slowly, and then press down. And this helps keep it from having any bubbles or getting stuck. I think we got maybe one little bubble in there. Okay, I'm I'm gonna just use my hands. I did get one little bubble. Let's see if I can push it out. Excuse me. I've got that fall is here cough. I don't know if anybody else has that, but I do. Okay, so I kind of used my hands, and now I'm gonna go back with this little tool that they gave you. And I'm just gonna start over the design areas using this little tool to just rub. And you can kind of tell by looking at it. It's probably hard to see in the video, but you can kind of see it, the color changes a little bit as it releases from this cellophane onto your surface. And that is right, Kathy. We don't make mistakes. Guys, you just got to go with it. Like, we can't be so concerned about having things done perfectly. We just can't. If you saw that Bassett purple dresser that I painted in Twilight Geranium and used a transfer on, I made some mistakes in that transfer. But it still looks beautiful, and it's okay. That's what kind of crafting and doing this is all about. Like, if we wanted something perfect and mass produced, we would go to IKEA, right? Like, if we want something that has a little bit of character, then we craft, or we try making it ourselves. Yeah, and Jane, it does. And if you've ever worked with a vinyl decal, this is very similar to a vinyl decal, except it's much, much, much thinner. So it looks more like it's actually been painted on the surface. Whereas a vinyl decal, you can kind of pick at it with your finger, and you can kind of tell that it's raised from the surface. This really kind of blends in. Every time people come in and look at that purple chest of drawers that has the transfer on it, they think I painted it. So these guys make you look like you're an amazing artist. And maybe you're not, because I could not have painted that. And I really think the colors on them, like, it does have the look of something painted. It's very detailed. The ones that have the little bit of gold in them are super pretty. So I'm just kind of going over the whole surface. Kind of want to pay attention to the edges, like the edges of the design. It can be a little bit therapeutic if you're kind of irritated, you know, like kind of rub out your irritations on this. Excuse me. All right, once you think you've kind of gone over everything, which I think I have, you're gonna pick an area, probably kind of up in the corner, up in the side, and then you're gonna start very slowly peeling it back. The key here is slow. You want to go really slow because if it's not all the way burnished down, then it's going to kind of rip and break. And so as you're pulling it, you'll be able to tell, like, okay, yes, that's released and I'm good to go, or I'm not. And if you're peeling it and it's stuck, then just roll this back down and burnish it a little bit more, okay? Okay, so, and you kind of got to get underneath it and kind of watch as you peel. I kind of like to look from the top too. You can kind of watch to see if it's coming off properly. This one, I didn't quite get all the way. Now, like I said, sometimes, especially in the summer, we were getting reports of basically pieces getting stuck to this that didn't want to transfer. That has to do with heat. Heat is the enemy of your transfer. And so if you ever get one and that's happening, then you need to contact Redesign with Prima, let them know, and they will work on getting you a new one, okay? Because that's not supposed to happen. It's usually like the little words and stuff, the little kind of areas that have trouble kind of settling down. Once you kind of hit big areas of the transfer, usually it kind of comes off without a hitch. See, like the edge of that D isn't quite stuck yet. There we go, that got it. Anytime you kind of are pulling and it kind of starts at a new area of the design, that's a place to be watching. Hey, Jennifer! My friend Jen is watching. I think you and your girls could do some of these. I think they would have fun with them. Almost done. Ta-da! There we go. It's on. And now see, there's no transfer left on this. So it went from here to here. Angie, I have, if you're local to Northwest Arkansas, I have them stocked here in my painted furniture studio. If you're not, I have over 30 different designs in my online shop. And the link is actually right above this, where you can get and check that out. So I have lots of them. I've got several of this one, and I'm happy to send it to you. Okay, I missed a question right here. So Jane says, caring for a piece of furniture and maintenance. Yeah, like if you're putting this on, so if I'm gonna put this on a piece of furniture, then I'm definitely gonna seal it. I'm gonna put a coat of wax over it. You can put, I don't like working with poly, I just really don't, but you can put a clear poly over it. If you're putting it on like a tabletop, something that's gonna get stuff sitting on it a lot, then yes, you wanna put a more hard finish over it, a poly. On drawer fronts and things, I've just gone with a wax and it's fine. Like, I mean, I'm trying to scrape it and, you know, I could like really scrape at it and some would come off, but just kind of touching it is okay. But yes, you do want to, on a piece of furniture, something that's gonna get touched more, clear wax or a coat of poly if it's gonna have more heavy traffic. Okay, so remember I was telling you sometimes your design bleeds onto the next sheet. So here's the bottom of this flower. And so what I'm gonna do is, this is kind of the edge of the design. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut all the way right up to the edge of the design so I can match it up easier. You can kind of overlap, you know, a little bit if you want, but this is, I found this to kind of work the easiest for me. I'm gonna come back and get those other little pieces later. That little, there's like a little tiny leaf. Oh no, don't stick, don't stick. You go over there. Okay, and then you just kind of find where it matches up. So like this goes right there. That's where that is supposed to go. So then we're just gonna go through the same process. I may go ahead and just pull it all the way off. Again, this is a smaller piece. Smaller pieces are easier to work with, and then you just kind of get it lined up. And then press it down. There we go. And then let's see. This right here is the bottom of that one pine cone. So I'm gonna stick that piece on over here. Goes right there. Here's that one random leaf right there, right there. And then I've got the bottom of this little flower I'm gonna go get to. It's really hard not to touch the transfer because I didn't leave myself much room, but we're just gonna line it up the best that we can. Again, if it's not absolutely perfect, it's okay. Press it down, okay? This is all trash. Get rid of that over there. Okay, and then we're just back to these new parts that we laid down. We're just gonna go do the same thing. Burnish those with the little stick. Excuse me. Yeah, so there is, just right up in the description of this video, is a link to where I have all of these in my online shop. I think I have maybe 5 or 6 of these Christmas greeting designs left. Or if you're local, I've got some here. But you can see how, remember, I stuffed a lot back in here, so I've got probably another project that I can do with just this one. And my friend Brittany is watching. Hi, Brittany, all the way from Austria. Isn't that fun? Brittany, are you guys staying warm over there? I bet you're cold. Is that part down? Yep. And I just usually kind of smooth it with my finger a little bit too. Excuse me. Did I get the flowers? Oh, not quite. Again, these little tiny pieces are the ones that kind of don't want to release sometimes. Get on there. There we go. Got that part. And oh, there's a little bit that didn't transfer right there. Let's pull from the bottom maybe. Very gentle, very gentle. Ta-da! Okay, so now we have the rest of our whole bird design here. He's so cute. And then it says December 25th. All right, now I had wanted to throw on this wording. It says, merriment and much good cheer, a Christmas bright, I wish you, dear. But I kind of wanted to put this guy on too. It has the words to Jingle Bells in the back, which just is fun. But I don't know. If I put that here, but I don't think I have room for the words. I'm not sure. Let's see what else. What other pieces can I maybe cut off of here and use? Uh-oh. Yeah, I messed that little part up right there. That actually is supposed to be for that. Whoops. Whoops. All right, well, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut this guy off. And this little part that I put in here is actually supposed to go with this. So we're gonna throw that up here. Over what I just did. There you go, because that's kind of the bottom of this plant, of this poinsettia right here. And then where's my tool? Here we go. You can layer them on top of each other also. You know, because they're super thin, like the bottom one is going to kind of bleed through the top one just a little bit, but you can layer them. If you want to put some wording and then put something on top of the wording, you can do that. Oh, that was almost disastrous. One little piece right here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's right. So, Kathy says she likes just the words at the bottom. So let's do that. I'm just going to kind of throw them down here. Maybe kind of over here and just balance it out a little bit more. There's just a tiny little speck of paint there. Get that off. And again, once they kind of stick on these surfaces, you're not going to be able to get it back off and move it. If you try to move it, then you're going to lose some of the design because it's already stuck down. Now you can kind of see the little outline around the design. That's just part of it. If I was to put, like when you do that on furniture, if you put a little bit of wax, when you kind of put the wax on it, that little outline goes away. You don't see it anymore. But I just really think for somebody who's not, I am not a particularly great artist. I can paint furniture because I tell people it's just like coloring in a coloring book. You know, it's a difference between drawing a picture and coloring in a coloring book. So you give me a big box and I can fill it with color. You ask me to draw the box and I can't draw it. Yeah, that's right, Kathy. If you move it, you lose it. My kids know not to ask me to draw anything because if I draw a dog, it looks just like an elephant, that looks just like a monkey, that looks just like a horse. I cannot draw for my life. So I really am not particularly crafty. I'm not good at making crafty things. But with these, I feel like I can kind of make whatever I want because I've got this chalkboard sign outside for the studio, and y'all, I need some help writing cute wording on the chalkboard sign. Like I was never that girl that could doodle like cute things. And so my chalkboard sign in front of the studio is not cute. I need somebody to help me with that. So I could have never like painted or written this kind of fun wording. I'm just not that talented. But I can put it on. I can rub it on. Okay, I think that's good. And then we'll just start slowly peeling it back. Now, let's say there isn't a lot of contrast because you're looking through this to this dark wood top. When I hold it up and I'm going to put it up against a white wall, this will all pop a lot more. If you wanted to paint on the back of the window a color like blue or white or something, then your design would pop a lot more off of that lighter color. Or you can paint the front of the window right here and then put it on top of it. Either one works. Just remember, if you're putting them on paint, you want to put it on the paint before you put any top coat on it. So before you put any glaze or wax or tough coat or anything, your transfer needs to go on first. It's not going to stick well to that other stuff. So, okay. Let me turn them around so you guys can see a little bit better. Ta-da! Can you see, I mean, really just how pretty the colors of it are? And again, like, let me get some white. This isn't gonna work super well, but look, if you hang it on a white wall, like you see the letters, it's because this is wood down here that it's hard to see. But once you kind of, you know, put a coat of white paint on the back of it or hang it on a light colored wall and all, like you can see all of this, it pops so well. And it was so easy, you guys, it was so easy. So if you're a booth seller and you want to make some of these guys to sell for Christmas, you know, for the cost of one transfer, I mean, you can get 2 window projects out of these. You can just do them for yourself. I am not seeing a lot of people in Northwest Arkansas using them yet. And so if you're in this area, I say start putting them on your furniture now, because people, every time people walk in and see this one dresser that has a transfer on it, they're amazed because they're not seeing a lot of it. And so you can really elevate your pieces of furniture to look really distinct and unique if you're trying to sell them. If nobody else in your market is using them yet, then you jump on it and start using it. People are always amazed. They're like, what is that amazing thing? I'm just rolling up my extra pieces. Even like this little one, I'm gonna keep because I might decide to kind of stick that on here, like down there up against the corner or something, or use it for another project. So I just have a whole bunch of scrap ones. So let me put this in here. And then I've got it for another project. Now I'm gonna walk over, I'm gonna put this back up because I see there's a question or two. Ta-da! There we go. Okay, I see there's a question or two. Okay. Angie said she has a table that she painted and waxed. Could you put a transfer on it? Yes, but you need to take your wax off. How you do that is you rub it with odorless mineral spirits and odorless mineral spirits, some steel wool, and then really rinse that with water. And so, in fact, if you wanted to repaint your table, you're gonna need to do the same thing. Anything that has wax on it, to paint it again, you need to remove the wax. But then once the wax is off, yep, you can put it right on there. You know, now, I mean, you could try to see if the wax has been on there for several years, a lot of it may have rubbed off. You may not have a lot left. And you could see if it's gonna stick to it, just because sometimes over time that happens. But if it was me, I would go ahead and remove the wax with mineral spirits. So, okay, let me hold them up one more time. Merry Christmas, right? Yay. So there you go. You can replicate this on anything you can think of. On walls. I wouldn't do it on textured walls. I would do it on flat walls. Furniture. You can use it on fabric. You have to put fabric Mod Podge over it. There's a little bit of a different process for doing it on fabric. You can do it on fabric. You can do it on mirrors, old mirrors, windows, glasses, again, your KitchenAid mixer, old galvanized tubs, watering cans, and there are so many designs, it's gonna kind of blow your mind. There are endless possibilities for being creative with them. So check them out. Check out the link right up here to see the ones in my online shop. As always, we have everyday free shipping for orders over $100. And so if you're buying some paint, pop on over to the transfer section and maybe toss one in there and bump you up to free shipping. Try one out. If you're local, stop by the store and we can take out some of the scraps that I have. You can play around with one. I can show you how to use it here in the studio if you're local. So thanks everybody for being with me today. If you found this video helpful, would you please share it with your friends or share it into any painting groups maybe that you're in, just so we can help. I always appreciate that and just kind of help spread the word about these products. I always appreciate it when you guys take the time to, one, watch and be here with me, and two, share and pass along the things that we do here at Lost and Found. So I'm gonna go figure out how to hang this guy up, put some screws in it and get him hung up on the wall, because he's gonna have a price tag on him and he's gonna be ready to sell here in the studio. So thank you so much everybody for being here today. Thank you, Kathy, and you're welcome. Thank you. Love you guys as always. I'll see you again soon. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.